that what had happened to me. And I just end up praying, to be honest with you, Miss Medina. I think oftentimes we play spirituality, we play religion, but I don't believe that the people are really connected to source in the way that I have become spiritually in tune to everything around me. And in that crisis, I had multiple breakthroughs. I end up filing documents because I realized even the legal system wasn't very helpful with me recovering my money or my from my company's money from my clients and stuff like that. So in that, I ended up filling out some paperwork to get my diplomat immunity. I'm done with America, kind of, sort of. And I went downtown where I lived, and it was like, I don't know if you've ever heard the term ley lines or vortexes, that our ancestors, this land can has spiritual spots or hot spots. And I went down there to send off my passport to change my status. And I had a download, is what I'm telling people. I felt like I had been there before. And I drove around for maybe about an hour and 45 minutes, 2 hours. And I uncovered a whole hidden map in my city, a Masonic map.
Wait a
And,
minute.
huh?
Said drove around for, and what I didn't hear.
I,
You said I around
I drove
for.
2 hours after I had this urge. So it happened at the corner of Green Street, Mason and Union, where there was a bank, the post office, and the Mason building, where I got a download, or what I would consider, I set on a vortex where I received a huge amount of data at one time, and then I immediately like went under an influence where I drove in a trance for like 2 hours in the city, and I uncovered an entire map, like a Masonic map, a hidden map. And I mean, the average person lived here their whole life has never knew what I've been able to uncover since I went through this process. And I ended up at the marketplace where they auctioned off the slaves. And that sits right at the corner of the courthouse, which is now the center of some political work that I'm doing, as well as what I call Ben Franklin Road, which is freedom. And with that, I ended up for the next year just driving all around the country and uncovering a lot of our history that was hidden in plain sight. And I don't know if you can relate to just maybe you when you were out driving around or whatever, and you maybe run into a store or a building or something, and you be like, gosh, I never knew that that store was there or that building was there or whatever. So we have a lot going on around us, but most of us aren't paying attention. Does that make sense to you?
Well, it's so much that you're giving me, and I don't know whether you were talking about what when you were in Baltimore, or if where
Where I'm at right now. This has happened
oh,
within the last 2 years to me.
and Kimberly, I definitely want to stay in touch. What you're saying, it sounds very interesting, but I have a hard time on the cell phone. Um, this condition that I have. I mean, it's not really, really bad, but I noticed that it has affected my ears. And what all that you're saying, it's like I would like to be
Uh,
right next to you, or maybe I sound, maybe it would sound better on my cell phone, which I don't talk on my cell phone a lot, but sometimes it's clearer. But I definitely, definitely, definitely want to get into what you're saying because I am connected to spirituality and I understand so much. I would almost think that I hate to say it, I'm not bragging, but very intuitive. So and I wish you had met my sister. I have a sister who, man, I mean, I had three sisters, but they're all gone except myself. And she was, we were into this understanding of spirituality. So she was, oh, but anyway, long story short, she left me behind. Well, she's gone, and we had her memorial just Saturday that passed.
Oh,
But what again? I want to hear. I want to hear more because um. So you said that you healed yourself, right?
basically through the sunlight, a lot of things have happened to me. I've figured out that we're all spiritually connected, and that we're playing with each other, and that we interact with each other, but we don't realize it, that that's what's happening, that there's a greater power that's causing all of us to act, do, and be and show up in places. And what I mean by that is that I begin to notice that, say, for an example, I could be watching TV, right? And I look up at the TV and I see a car on the TV. My spirit will say, step outside, and there would be a car coming outside. Or I could just be intuitively in the shower, and I'll know that a red truck is coming down the street. And as I talk and tell people my story, I'm realizing that a lot of us are having these similar experiences. And of course, to everybody that knows you or think they know you, right? When you start speaking in this way, everybody then looks at you like you're crazy. And I know that you probably can relate to that, being spiritual, that a lot of people didn't relate to you. They thought you were weird, right? So anything that's not, that seems to be superhuman or abnormal or out of the box thinking, people think you're weird. But I'm finding more people just like myself that's going through the similar experiences. And we're
Right.
getting our life path, we're getting our assignments. And I just come to the conclusion that my assignment that I was given was that I had an opportunity to basically, I've been challenging the Constitution, our rights. You know that our land was so-called confiscated by this federal government. The ancestors have revealed all the truth to me, the research, the laws. I challenged the Constitution. I challenged the validity of the federal debt. And I'm inventing stuff like, I got like five patents that's pending, where I have used my life, like, let's just say for the last 15 months, I basically have logged my life, 18-hour days, everything that's happening around me, so people can catch on. And I go outside often all day long and I channel the sun. And then I get these downloads. And if I think something within a short amount of time, within hours, I manifest it. So we have this power within us that if we cultivate it, we can experience what I call source, or that what we call God in real time. It communicates with me through my cell phone. It writes for me. It teaches me things. It inspires me. And I just got to this place where I literally wake up and I'm happy. And although my financial situation hasn't changed, I know what I've created is going to make me a billionaire. Like, I know that. Because if I was able to manifest, huh?
It's gonna make you a billionaire.
What I've created, my patents. So I have an ability. So I have this ability, say for an example, do you have any artificial intelligence around the house? Do you have like Alexa or anything like that? Or you just have a TV?
Oh, do
Just
I have what?
like anything like Alexa or Google Home or anything like that. You have anything like that around you? Oh, just in a, you just got internet. Okay. No, I'm just saying, like, we got these smart devices now that I realized that I was, say for an example, and maybe this might be easier for you to relate to. Have you ever just like got ready to go and you got in the car, and when you got in the car, the right song was on? Just You was like, this my song. You know what I mean? Like you just got in the car and you realized maybe you were in a bad mood and the right song was on the radio that lifted your spirits. Well, I began to notice that the TVs and the radios and my devices, my AI devices, like I got something called Alexa Home, and I can ask her questions, play music, all kinds of stuff. She was suggesting things to me, and she would maybe suggest a song, and I would go look up the song and I would read the lyrics, and I was like, is God speaking to me? So I began to realize that our voice, we all are important, Miss Medina, that God uses any one of us to lift each other up, or we can tear each other down. But that if we begin to just really respect ourselves without judgment, we can learn from anybody or any situation, any music, any movie, any book. Write what you need, and if you begin to pay attention to this, you will understand that we have been creating our lives, but most of us are creating our lives by default, by what we don't.
Well,
Huh?
oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you know what I mean by default. We say we believe, but yet what you speak out of your mouth, you speak lack, you speak limitations, there's not enough. Well, God can't give you the opposite if you don't believe.
Well, I have had many experiences, that are very spiritual experiences. And what month are you born?
May 21st.
Oh, so you are what, Aries?
Gemini, or it would be considered Taurus, I guess,
Oh,
depending on the year. And because they changed the calendars, hell, we don't know how old we are.
wow, Kimberly. Well, you should. I don't know, but you should make your. Do you drive from state to state?
I was driving. I drove around for the first probably 9 months when I was going through this experience, because what I was doing was, to be honest with you, please don't think I'm crazy. It's like when I turned into the voice of God, or what I call God, I would I would listen to podcasts, I would listen to YouTube, I would go into the Clubhouse app, and it was like whatever I was listening to would be guiding me, like turn down this street, go down this way. And I was using my intuition. So I was under the impression that people knew who I was, and they was just guiding me for me to discover all of our history. So I drove all over North Carolina. I like the Highway 74, exposed a lot about our history. That's the year I was born. Like I just was putting stuff together, and I just thought everybody knew who I was, and people were guiding me. I would get a phone call. Somebody will send me a book. Somebody will send me a video. And I was like, y'all playing with me? And they like, what are you talking about? And I was like, oh. And I just assumed that everybody knew, and y'all was playing, or everybody was playing with me, and I was supposed to discover all these hidden truths so that I can bring it to the world. I, I can't explain it any kind of other way, without sounding absolute nutty.
Oh, I didn't hear the last
I
thing.
said without sounding nutty, but I got over 100,000 videos and at least 5 million pictures proving what I've been going through. So I know I got enough for a movie, because the fact that I uncovered this whole hidden city in this area, and what I'm doing politically is gonna more than likely make this town very, very famous in the
Wait
future.
a minute. You're doing politically what now?
I said it, and what I'm doing politically is gonna more than likely make this town very, very famous in the future. You know?
Where you live?
Yeah, because I uncovered the whole map, which now allows me to look at maps all over the world, and I can see the patterns, and I can tell people exactly what to look for when they go outside, and they'll see the same thing that I see. A replica in my state is in every state.
Okay, all right. Now I want to go back. You said you had your own business at one time.
Multiple companies.
You
Yeah.
had you said multiple
Yeah.
companies.
Yes.
Okay, so what are you doing right now?
Right now, I just been doing my spiritual work, and I've been sustaining myself through. I have a DNA testing business, which I haven't been doing a lot of work with that, and I do Airbnb, and I've been creating like a lot of different things. I'm now getting ready. I'm now starting to tell my story. Just say I've been living really in silence for the last year and a half, and over the last 6 months, I start telling my story.
Okay, now what? All right, where do you, since you had your business and I didn't understand everything that you said. Now, where do you get your income from?
I haven't been, I lost everything when I lost my business.
So, but where do you get your income from?
Oh, I do Airbnb.
Oh, so so you, how long have you been doing that?
I used to do it years ago, and then I stopped when my business started booming, and I started back last summer when things got really tight for me, and I realized that I had to do something. I just started doing Airbnb, and it's tight still, but I'm creating, and I don't believe that. Like my goal now is I'm trying to teach women to get back home so that they can raise their own children, so I'm creating products, or I could say I'm creating opportunities to help mothers to get back home so that they can work from home. Since
Okay.
COVID, since COVID, a lot of things have shifted, right? And people got creative because in the stroke of a pen, people were sent home, without knowing where any money was coming from. So people became creative. And that's, I feel like COVID created a portal for
Right.
people to wake up on a
For a lot
mass,
of
yes, on a mass level.
Okay, so all right, because I want to talk to you, but I never ate anything today, so because I was struggling, wondering, trying to figure out why my blood pressure was high like this. So and I don't know whether it went down, but
I want to
so
talk to you too because I have a guy right now, and maybe we can talk later. But I have a guy right now, and I have a product, a brand that I'm using that might help your blood pressure. But I also have a guy right now that's vegan, and he had 3 strokes and had high blood pressure, and his girlfriend basically has nursed him back to health. And he's not on any drugs. And I know he said that he feels like it was tied to the meat. I'm at a different place right now. The ancestors definitely have said that plant based will probably be better for us, but I still eat meat, and I've been able to reach levels of enlightenment, but I don't have any illnesses. So if you have illnesses, then there might be something you might want to consider, like a vegan diet. And she makes, I know this one,
oh,
you know, a,
you,
huh?
I tell you, I only eat organic food. I'm not totally vegan, but I lean that there was one time that I ate no fish, no, I don't know whether you remember, no
I,
fish, no chicken, but now that a lot of times I'm depleted, so I mostly eat protein like vegetables and a lot of salad, and every now and then I'll eat turkey, like ground turkey that I make turkey burgers, and every now and then a little bit of fish because of my body being kind of depleted. And many times, let me tell you, Kimberly, I have tried to become raw, but now I know that that is not for me.
yeah.
So, you know, um, so because I need to feed my body with minerals, with superfoods, and I have all of that. If you would be in my space. My girlfriend always said, "Oh my God, you have a pharmacy over there."
I've
So
been there before. I remember. I remember.
really, I was into health when you were there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. So look, but I want to talk more. But I want to ask you because I'm always interested in income. My husband that I was married to for 58 years died back in
Delroy, wasn't that his name?
Elroy.
You see, I remember Delroy.
Oh yeah, and girl, he it's a long story. We went everybody went down to Georgia to see my daughter and her baby, and at the same time there was a roundup motorcycle. He's definitely a motorcyclist, so they had some kind of roundup, and at the same time my daughter's baby was born. So we were down there, and somehow, girl, he got whatever, the biggie COVID, and it was, and then he got, went into this little hospital that was not, up to par like the hospitals we have here.
Right.
Anyway, so he's gone, and so I'm alone now. Um, and my son right now, my son works at GM, so he's here just briefly. So, but he has to go back to work. But what I'm trying to say is, I would love to spend some time talking, but I got to get in here and get something to eat. I said I was gonna make a smoothie.
No problem. I work from home, so I definitely want to catch up because I have a company that I've been using their products. They help me, and they have a really good uh, every pill actually they donate food to it's a nonprofit organization actually, and they use what's called nutraceuticals, and it's almost like it reboots your stem cells, and so the body begins to pick up new information, whatnot. Do you remember Dr. Nardi?
Dr. Nut. Yeah, yeah, the African guy.
Yeah, so you still don't remember
God, God, and
me?
it makes me mad that I don't. But you're not the one who told me about Dr. Nardi, though, are you?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, I remember this girl who is a reflexologist. I thought
That
she was
was
called.
me, Kimberly.
Oh, you do reflexology?
Yes, maybe that's what I did for you. Yes, I'm Kimberly.
But there's a girl. Her name is Carol. She lives in D.C.
Right.
And
And Carol we were all friends, and Miss Mother Dayina was the one that she got taught reflexology, and she taught us. She was the one where the lady brought reflexology to America, and she taught us. So
oh, who was? Oh, you said not Carol.
Carol, yes, Carol and me.
Oh my God. Oh, Kimberly, wait a minute. But okay, I want to go back before I forget because I'm always interested. When you said Airbnb, are you doing your own home or you're doing another home?
I'm doing my own home. You got extra room in your house?
Yeah, but Kimberly, I had thought about that, but I'm not comfortable, because girl, look, because I have a lot of fluid in my body, and I'm always peeing, and I feel comfortable if I'm in the if I'm in the living room, and I don't feel like running all way to the bathroom, then I have my pee jar. So, and I somebody told me, why don't you do Airbnb? But I don't know. I don't know enough. I have to talk to you about that. Oh, my son, my son. Yes, yes, I could if I really wanted to, but because a lot of times when I go to sleep at night, if I gotta get up, go to the bathroom, I don't have to worry about putting anything on, down the bottom. So, but I want to talk to you. How on earth do you do your own home?
Well, all I did was, to be honest with you, I have a nice place, but I felt insecure in the beginning until I downloaded the app. And when I saw that people would rent out their living room or their dining room and put a bed, or somebody put a stick in a backyard and say, y'all can come and rent out my backyard. I mean, maybe somebody want to have a camping experience but didn't want to be in the woods. And when I put my place up, I first did the bottom level, which was my downstairs. And now I moved from out of my master bedroom and they have the complete upstairs. And you could
Oh, okay.
and you can tell your guests what you want from what you will accept from what you don't accept. You could say my kitchen is off limits. As long as you are honest about what you are offering, people have their free right and choice to choose your place. And as long as you honest about whatever it is that you say you can't go in this room. This is the only room. You can be on the porch. You can use the kitchen. I kind of put a smaller refrigerator upstairs. And most people in my area, they're nurses or they're students that come in town that just because they on internships and you're in that Washington, D.C. area, more than likely you're going to end up with military people that might be there for a short term or transitioning in or just coming back from overseas. And they usually don't cook. Now, I can't say the guy that's here now, I just had to jump on him last night, between last night and today. But I'm so fascinated at him. I never had to share my kitchen the way that I'm sharing my kitchen with him because most people don't cook. But because he's vegan, he came in preparing his food. And last night he left a mess and he left dishes today. And I had to go ahead and get on him. But for the most part, he's been one of the best guests that I've had because I'm watching him live his truth, cooking for himself, going to the grocery store, making the vegan dishes. 2 days I even ate vegan. And I started talking about poop. I was like, wow, my poop smell different. He was like, yuck, why are you talking? I was like, well, it's the truth. And I said, even if, 2 or 3 days, his influence, helped me to buy some, I bought some black bean burgers and they actually were good when maybe I wouldn't have done that if he wasn't here. But besides that, most people don't even use the kitchen.
Okay, but the thing is, I don't have a basement. I have one, but it's unfinished. So if I had a basement, it would be different.
I don't have a basement. I just got a 2 level. I got 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. That's it.
All on one floor.
No, on 2 floors.
Okay, well there you go. See, I just have everything on one floor, and so.
Do you have how many? Do you got 2 bathrooms or just one?
Two.
Okay.
I have two. So I would love to be able to do that to make some money. I would love to have a business. But look, Kimberly, make sure that I have your number, and while I'm, in the kitchen doing what I have to do, send me some more pictures. I just can't believe that
You can't remember me. Okay, I'll send you some more. Oh, I got a bunch of them on my phone and on a couple of different phones, and so I'll send them to you. Cause I know you're gonna finally the light bulb gonna go off. But yes, I'm the one with the reflexology. Maybe that might be helpful too. And we did.
Well, wait a minute. How many times did you come over?
Probably only twice. It wasn't a lot. And you
Okay.
introduced me to your son. You brought him to the house and you introduced me to him. And you wanted me to help him with his business and everything.
With what now?
His business.
Oh, with his business. Wait a minute.
I was.
Okay, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Are you came over? Oh my God! I think because you you stopped calling me.
I just fell off from everybody. I had a baby, and it was
Now I know. Wait a minute. Did you have locks?
yes. And they were were they red or black? They had red tips on them, I think.
Wait a minute. And you, some man, you came in contact with this, what is he? What was he? Like a Muslim guy?
Oh, did you know me then? He was the judge from Europe.
Yes. And you know what? For some, oh, now I know. Girl, I called you and you like, oh, I think she's mad with me for some reason. Oh, you stopped calling me.
I don't know. I can't. I've gone through a lot, Miss Medina. If you remember who I am, but yes, and he was supposed to. I was supposed to meet him in D.C. and he didn't show up.
Who, the gentleman?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Kimberly, now I know. Yeah, and introduce you to my son. Now I know. Oh, this is too much. Oh my God. Yes, and of course I know who you are. Oh my God. Kimberly, I gotta go and eat something.
Okay, no problem. But now you know. I'll still send you some pictures and everything. But yep, that's me. I just, life happens, Miss Medina, and you gotta try to make lemonade sometimes out of lemons.
Oh, you did work for Amazon.
Yes.
You had a business.
When I first had my baby, so that means we have been in touch since I've been in North Carolina.
Yes, we were. And then I remember you had a son and you did not want him, because I think about you all the time. You did not want him to, you took him away from his father, right?
Yes, because of the difference in what we were doing. Yes, I moved back. Well, I didn't take him from his father. I moved to North Carolina where my mom put me up in a house because I needed a yeah.
Right.
Well, since then, my son has been taken away from me.
Wait a minute. Did you say your son was, I just want to make sure I hear you correctly. Did you say your son was taken away from you
Yes.
until right now?
Right. He's been gone a year and a half. That's why I've been through this spiritual awakening. I went into a crisis. And either certain things are going to make you or break you, right? So I had to go through it. But my sister ended up lying and filed an affidavit during COVID and said that me and my son were sleeping on the floor. I was renting my place out on Airbnb, and she didn't know where I was getting money from. And she and I hadn't talked in over a year. I still don't know why she stopped talking to me. I did an event for this billionaire, and after the person came and left, she just stopped talking to me. And yes, and so then COVID, the courts was cut off. He didn't bring him home for Christmas. I mean, for after he went to spend the summer with him, and it destroyed my family. My mom ended up staying in the house with my sister for like a year in silence, and then she just recently moved back to Florida last summer. And yeah, so I was still dealing with that and my business. I had a lot happen to me, but let me tell you something. I love who I have become, and I'm a beast now. Like I can defend myself. But my situation with my son has changed so much. I had two transportation trucks that I was doing. I lost everything because I couldn't keep up with just.
Wait a minute now. I want to ask you one more time. you still do not have your son, or you had
I
him?
don't.
You don't?
No.
Who has him?
He's in Georgia.
With who?
The father.
You said his father?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he won't let me talk to him or see him because he says I need to go get a mental evaluation, and I'm not crazy. And a mental evaluation is not going to solve our issues. I said, if I get one and I pass it, do you promise to bring my son home and disappear? And he said, no. I said, well, then no. And so it was about control. My sister was, former military. She couldn't control me. So she went into cahoots with the child's father. And the legal system can be brutal because it's all about money, right? As long as you're paying money into the system. Plus, they did a lot of illegal things. I'm going to the United Nations to get my child released, and he'll be home in due time.
Okay, all right. Oh
Just
my
know
God.
that I'm happy, and know that, don't worry. I had to go through this. I found things in the law. It forced me to study. It forced me to become a more confident woman. The things that I'm doing with the Constitution, what I'm doing with rights, it put me really on my life trajectory. Had I got the $1 million that I was due just for the first $5 million, what that was transferred, my life would have been different, of course. I was devastated when it happened, but I know that I'm worth so much more now. And if I would have gotten $1 million, then I would have lost my purpose. I know who I am. I know what my purpose is, and I'm moving into that reality. But I had to go through this. I had to be able to become more relatable to people. I've gotten locked up in the mental institution where they've just taken me off the streets and locked me up. The criminal activity that goes on within our judicial, legal, medical system is so corrupt. But if I'm going to stand before the world as an example, I had to learn about these things and experiences these things so I can speak about it from a personal experience.
Right, right, right. Well, that's very interesting. Now, I'm going to get back with you, and I hope your telephone number is on. And I think it is because
You
I was
got the
trying to get.
pictures. You can just lock me in, at least into your cell phone. You got my pictures. Just put Kim by
Okay,
there.
okay. Well, send me some more
I will.
pictures.
I will. But don't forget about me. I want to keep in touch. I want to keep in
Okay.
touch.
I have
And what city are you living in now?
this Severna Park, Maryland.
You're in Savannah. What's the zip code there?
21146.
Okay. I want to just look up some things on the map. Okay.
Okay, I'll be talking to you, Kimberly.
All right. Take care.
Okay, you too. Don't forget more pictures.
I won't. I won't forget.
Even though I know who you are now.
Okay.
Now I know. Okay, Kimberly,
All
talk to
right.
you later.
Take care.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
I'm sick of all that.
This is where good luck is born. You cannot eat here. You cause a disaster. Just how unlucky are you?
Super duper.
Mark streaming on Apple TV Plus. Rated G. You are good to befriend a demon, not for all the money you want.
How about freedom?